Brothers and sisters, welcome back, and thank you. If you're watching this, thank you for finding me. So, I'm not going to go a ton into my past in this initial one. I just want to give a brief idea as to why I'm here, why this channel exists, who I am. And over this last year, I've been on a deep, deep journey into my mind, and as a result of that, into my soul. I've come to quite a few discoveries about myself, and my hope is to share some of my insights to hopefully prompt some thought into you. So maybe we can each do a little bit more to make this place the wonderful place that it should be. My name is Jack Talcott. I spent a decade in the bottom of alcohol, beer, and then at the end, vodka and whiskey bottles. I got sober in 2016, and I was still an unhappy man. This year, I decided to change that. I've always been a bright and logical, very reasoned man. At the same time, I always consider myself pretty open-minded, able to consider both sides. That's why I was a very effective union activist, I believe. Being able to anticipate the other side's position. So I didn't realize how beneficial that was until I really started looking inside. As a result, I have come to learn and have a much deeper understanding of the duality of our existence. As I have dove deep into my own mind and my own thoughts, it has led me down quite a path of spirituality. I consider myself a student of Buddha and a follower of Christ, but neither a Buddhist nor a Christian. I'm doing my best to practice the principles of detachment and love and service, while at the same time still living in this society that we have created. And that kind of brings me to my point. What I've come to realize, that life is actually very, very simple. Yet as humans, we really overcomplicate it. And I believe it's by design. And it's such a spectacular design. It's so complex, and yet so simple and so beautiful at the same time. It all starts with taking control of our thoughts. And that's why I attempted to bring mindfulness and awareness to the Postal Service. I met with some executives in Washington, D.C. in March. Unfortunately, my attempts were viewed differently than anticipated. I presented myself as an employee, and my actions were viewed to be in violation of federal ethics laws. So I am still dealing with the repercussions of that. Perhaps that story will come out. I'm sure it will. Nonetheless, I've come to the understanding that the keys to happiness, success, forgiveness, and joy all start with mindfulness. Mindfulness and awareness seem to have gotten kind of a taboo, weird nomenclature. That's not the right word. You get the idea. But awareness is simply where your thoughts are focused at, where your consciousness is aimed at. That's all that awareness is. Self-awareness is a simple act of, or the simple recognition of knowing and understanding that your actions, your words, have an effect on the world and the environment around you. I think as Americans, we are sufficiently or insufficient in our self-awareness. We're oblivious of the impact that we have on each other. I'll get into my ideas as to why that is later. Now, mindfulness is simply the act of paying attention to those thoughts. And I tell you what, by interrupting your thoughts, by paying attention to the thoughts that you're actually running through your mind, it can scare you. I recently listened to a report by, his name is escaping me. Anyway, we are estimated to have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. 90% of those are repeated. Now, if we come to the understanding that our circumstances of today are a direct result of our thoughts and actions from yesterday, and if we're only repeating the same thoughts as yesterday, then why would we expect our lives to change? So it's simple things like that that really have opened my eyes to how asleep I've been, for lack of a better word. And I'll get into my understanding of why that is as well. I have been diving into studies in psychology, meditation, yoga, those mindfulness, of course, through those. And that, of course, has led me down the path of spirituality. Now, I don't consider myself to be blessed as though I have had contact or heard the voice of God. But through reason, I truly believe that logic and psychology and sociology and the evolution of our societies explains the same things as the lessons from the religions. So we create what we focus on. And here's my example I'm going to leave with. I'm going to hopefully quote accurately the brilliant Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Now, probably the most simple explanation of this and of we create our own reality and the simplicity of the duality of our existence, it comes down to this. These are both true facts. And it comes down to a choice. Which world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world that is full of fear and violence and hate and injustice? Because that is true. Or do you want to live in a world that's full of hope and peace and beauty? Because that's also true. I choose to live in the world that's full of beauty and hope and peace. Because when we focus on what we want, we think of solutions on how to get it. So, messages of hope, peace, success, motivation, inspiration, social action, those are the reasons that I'm here. I'm sure more of my story will come out, but in the meantime, start paying attention to the thoughts that are in your head. One of the things that I recommend to everyone, set an alarm for about every 3 or 4 hours in a day. every 2 hours in a day. And when the alarm goes off, just check into the thoughts in your head and ask yourself, are these positive thoughts? Are they negative thoughts? Oops, my cat. Are these honest thoughts, or are these some of these stupid lies that I've become addicted to telling myself over and over? I know I had a lot of those thoughts, and I didn't recognize how many until I started focusing my awareness on it, until I started being mindful of where my thoughts were going. Once I was able to start catching some of those, then I realized I wasn't a very good friend to myself. So I ask you, check in on yourself. See how you're treating yourself. I'm going to share a lot of tips, a lot of insights. Like I said, brothers and sisters, I believe I understand how we're supposed to live this life. And life is too short. We're not meant to live our lives in a job that we hate, or in a relationship that doesn't make us full. We're surrounded by people that don't inspire us for greatness, because there is greatness inside each and every one of us. But the society that we've created makes us forget. So, until next time, namaste, God bless. Live without fear and search for your truth. Life is choices. Make a choice. Be happy. All right, till next time.